gonna be for the official thing. I think. I hope.
All right. Do you want to wear the headphones?
Not really.
So we don't know how it's gonna sound then until.
Yeah, but
It's called being spontaneous.
That's fair.
You ever consider that?
just saying this podcast again.
Talking
I need my backpack. Yo, welcome to the second episode of Talking to a Wall, the podcast where we talk seriously about topics that are not that serious. With me, I got two lovely, amazing, intelligent people. Do we want to introduce ourselves?
Oh, sure. I'm Tobobo or Tobo. Yeah.
Okay, it's a Bobo. Give us a fun fact. Give us something.
Fun
Don't be
fact.
boring.
I am from Texas. That's where I was born.
Oh, awesome, dude. It's not like we're all in Texas right
What?
now.
No, that would be. Don't dox us, bro.
Okay. What about you?
Yo, I'm Wiz. What is satire? Fun fact about me: not from Texas. Wasn't born here.
Oklahoma boy.
Yeah, also wasn't born in Oklahoma.
Ohio.
No, not Ohio.
Okay.
I am from the Midwest though.
Are we supposed to guess
Are we
now?
supposed to just know
No.
where that's from?
No.
Nebraska.
Okay.
Nebraska.
Nebraska Furniture Market?
No. No.
I love that story.
No. You don't have to guess.
Okay.
I don't want you to dox me.
All right. Hey, and I gave y'all just a little bit of notice on this first one, but I just want to get your general thoughts on, is a Poptart a ravioli? I'll let one of you start, and I'll give my piece.
So I just want to start off here. Do we have to pick a side, or can we kind of be in the middle? Cause
Pick your side. What do you believe?
what I believe, I'm halfway in between.
Halfway in between?
I'm halfway between yes and between no.
Okay. Then let's hear from someone who's one side.
Oh, I'm confident in my answer.
Okay.
Pop-Tarts are ravioli. And I'll die on this hill.
Go ahead. Explain.
You want to hear?
Explain? Yeah, I
So-
want to hear. I want to hear.
Well, let's
Maybe
take
you'll
it. Let's
convince
take it
me.
back to the basics.
All right.
Ravioli is a type of pasta comprising of a filling enveloped in a thin pasta dough.
Mhm.
Now, I don't think we have to worry about the filling, right? I think we can all agree. Pop-Tarts have filling.
Yeah.
So, what is pasta dough? Well, I'll tell you what pasta dough is.
Okay, he did his research.
I did my research.
The
It's
research
a type of food made from an unleavened dough of wheat flour mixed with water or eggs. Look up that Pop-Tart recipe for me.
Look up that Pop-Tart recipe.
I got you.
Wheat and water. I'll
That's
spoil
what it is.
it
You
for
already,
you.
you already did it.
Oh,
Dang,
I
don't.
didn't.
I don't even have to look it up.
Filling, dough of the pasta variety. Slap that together. Throw it in a toaster if you want. It's ravioli.
So you're saying you put your ravioli in a toaster?
If I have to.
Okay. Now, will have to say my point of view is the same as Tobobo's. I do believe that a Pop-Tart is ravioli. I mean, when you think about it, even if you don't get all technical with the definitions and everything, if you just really think about it, what is ravioli? It's something with it's like a little filling, kind of rectangular, right?
I mean, technically, it doesn't have to be rectangular.
It doesn't have to be.
Circular.
It could be circular, right?
Circular.
I mean, ravioli, you cut that pasta in whatever shape you want. Pop-Tarts, what is it? It has a filling. Now, is it the same filling? No, but it goes back to last week's topic. Is a pizza or is a hot dog a taco? And what we said there was it was based on the form. Well, at least that was my theory. It was based on the form. But anyway, that's last week's topic. Make sure to go check that out, though.
Link in the description.
Okay.
Link in the description.
All right.
Link in the description.
Link in the description. So I go back to my point here, right? I think the main point of this all comes around filling. And you can even and Toboba brought up the more technical point is what is a Pop-Tart made of? And it had the wheat, had the water. I mean, pasta, kind of that same sort of dealio. But I'm interested to see why you're not exactly why you agree with us, but that halfway point on why you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree. On the whole shape and the form, Pop-Tart, in terms of form, is definitely ravioli. But then you got to look at the filling, because I'm out here doing my research and I see that the classic ravioli recipe on, let's see, what's this website? cucinaventi.com
Okay.
says the classic ravioli recipe is an Italian dumpling that is typically stuffed with ricotta, meat, cheese, and vegetables, or like one or like multiple of those. And the filling is then sealed between the two layers of the egg pasta dough and typically served with a delicious tomato or cream-based pasta sauce.
Oh.
Now, that's where I kind of break off here because I want to believe 100% that a Pop-Tart is ravioli because I can just go up to my parents and be like, hey, I want ravioli for dinner, and then bring out some Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
But
Dinner's on me.
Dinner's on me. I got Pop-Tarts
And I got Pop-Tarts.
ready in the toaster. They're already going.
Already good. Don't worry, Mom.
Roman-
I got the cooking today.
But that's where the issue comes in because you got the filling. And I have never heard of a Pop-Tart that has ricotta, meat, cheese, and vegetables or like any combination of those.
Right.
Well, I think that brings up the question. When we talk about Pop-Tarts, are we talking about officially licensed Pop-Tarts, or are we talking about the genre of food known as a Pop-Tart? Because
How do you classify the genre of food?
well,
Genre, what do you okay, well that's a whole different discussion. You have to talk about the genre of Pop-Tart.
what I'm saying
Now,
is-
I do want to point out one thing before we go there. I want you both have your devices out. Please, in Google, look up weird ravioli and then go to images and just tell me what you think real quick. Give you a little bit of time to do that. And while y'all are doing it, I'll just say I think this topic isn't exactly what you would say original, just because I look up weird ravioli and the first picture I see, if any of you want to discuss,
it is giant ravioli.
it is a Pop-Tart box, the brand, Kellogg's, giant ravioli.
giant ravioli flavor. So obviously, like there's concept art for this kind of thing. So that kind of leads me to think like, who's making up these definitions? What and how strict are these definitions? Is
a definition?
it's kind of like that kind of thing. Yeah, you don't have to go. Yeah, I don't know about going that deep, but like, if you do think about it, like, if people are making concept art, the thought is already out there in the world.
I feel like we gotta question the concept artist
Why?
because it's on Pinterest.
Okay, well that's concept. I mean, you could post concept art wherever you want, but I mean, look at it. I mean, it looks like it could be real.
No disrespect to the concept artist here, Don Hoig on Pinterest.com. Got 12K followers. That's 12K followers. That's pretty good. So shout out to them for this concept art. But also, why?
I mean, because there are people like us who like me and Tabobo who think yes, raviolis, Pop-Tarts, it's the exact same thing. I mean, like even just look up any picture of ravioli, right? Ravioli has like that little part at the edge, like where it like kind of like pinches down and it's like flatter because the inside has a filling, right? Pop-Tarts have the exact same thing. They have that little crust layer, not without the little frosted part that like little kind of like comes up, and so because of that, I mean, form 100% goes to our argument that ravioli and Pop-Tarts are the exact same thing.
That's why I'm 100% there with you on form.
Exactly. So would you say that we maybe changed your mind? Maybe you're leaning a little bit more 75 percentage.
I think I'm still half and half because my issue still lies with the filling.
Why the filling? Well, because you could put anything. There's all sorts of ravioli. There's lobster ravioli.
But
There's that Chef Boyardee ravioli.
in ravioli, but well, actually no. Maybe you could, because I'm thinking like for Pop-Tart flavors, you know, you got that cinnamon sugar, you got that strawberry. You could do like a dessert ravioli. I'm just thinking. Put that in there.
Right.
Boil it real good, toast it, fry it up a little bit. Dessert ravioli.
Exactly. So now I want to ask the question: you can make your own ravioli. Can you make your own Pop-Tarts? I think yes.
I think so.
I would have to agree.
So I just want to get to that point. If you can make ravioli, you can make Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts aren't this just factory thing that like, oh, how am I supposed to do all this? I mean, if you really look at it, like, how hard is it to make crust like that? I don't think it's hard. I think that's just a general baking thing. And the frosting doesn't seem like it would be that difficult, too. It probably wouldn't be as perfect, but that's not the point. I mean, even things that you can make at home, you can make in a factory. So, with that being said, I don't think that's like a sort of controversy that we can have now.
And if we're expanding our definition of Pop-Tarts to any homemade Pop-Tarts as well, then I don't think it's even a question.
Right.
Because I could just make a ricotta and sausage Pop-Tart
Exactly.
if I wanted to, and there you go. That's your ravioli right there.
Oh, exactly. And like, I don't understand the argument about the filling, because if you think of ravioli, it doesn't just have one filling.
Right.
Like, if you say ravioli, you have to be more specific.
Yeah.
I think maybe the default would be like cheese filled ravioli, like that
4
might be-
cheese ravioli, sausage ravioli. you
Like,
know.
I feel like cheese maybe would be like the default. Like if I just said ravioli, but even then, like someone who knows a lot more about ravioli would be like, okay,
Yeah.
what's in it?
Brown sugar cinnamon,
Brown sugar cinnamon, strawberry,
blueberry.
cherry.
Oh wait,
This begs the question, though. This begs the question. I'm just wondering. You ever gone to Olive Garden and gotten the ravioli?
Yes. Yes.
Did you get brown sugar, strawberry, blueberry, cherry ravioli, or did you get cheese?
You can't. I don't think making the point that if you can get it in a restaurant or not, because there's a lot of foods that like people will make that like it's just special to them. It's not exactly. And like, who's to say I can't open a store and say like, oh, I'm gonna go make s'more flavored s'more ravioli.
That sounds good.
It does sound good,
Sounds good.
right? And so
I mean, just with these flavor options, you're kind of swinging me your way.
exactly. And well, now that you're saying that, with the store thing, there's already like different concepts for like different like stores and restaurants being out there. I've heard of a store, and I don't remember the name. Maybe one of you can like try to find it, but the whole point of the entire restaurant is that they're absolutely disrespectful to you the entire time.
Oh, it's like the heart attack grill.
I don't remember what it is, but like they just like throw the receipt at you, they're just completely disrespectful to you. But that's the whole point of the restaurant. It's not because they're actually disrespectful. That's just kind of like the theme that they have going on.
Dallas?
I don't know where it is.
Because I found one called Dick's Last Resort, just by looking up a restaurant where they insult you on Google.
Yeah, I mean that might be it. Maybe we'll do more research in the future. But what I'm trying to get at of that is that there's a theme for that restaurant that's not very like normal in other like at any place. And so now if you take like this, you can make the theme maybe not about the hospitality, but the theme would now be about the food that you serve, in which case in which the case that we're talking about is weird ravioli, which would be like Pop-Tarts.
You know, I think that the traditions around the culture of food are breaking down.
Right.
Where we don't have this idea of just pure customer service anymore, like you were saying, with the restaurant that insults you. It's all reaching a point where you can do anything you want. You can go to a cereal bar or something.
Right.
Or you can go to the Ravioli Palace where they serve brown sugar cinnamon raviolis along with a bunch of other sweet and savory options. And so I just don't see how a ravioli or a Pop-Tart isn't a ravioli in today's modern era. Maybe back in the 1800s, you could make the argument. But nowadays, I think it's very clear.
Yeah. I mean, are there any other arguments for why Pop-Tart would not be a ravioli?
That was the only argument I had.
Was the filling.
Yeah.
And what do you think now?
What I think now? Pop-Tarts are ravioli, baby. Let's go. Speaking of which, Ravioli Palace, that sounds like a good idea. Someone should do that.
I mean, I don't see why not.
I would
right?
I would pay for that.
And you can serve Pop-Tarts there.
Yeah. Just only Pop-Tarts. Just
it might be
throw 'em
even
in the
worth
toaster.
talking to Pop-Tart. I guess Pop-Tart is the brand, right? It's not
Yeah.
technically.
It's Kellogg's owns
Yeah.
Oh, they
Pop-Tarts.
own it, yeah.
Kellogg's
And
owns
so,
Pop-Tarts.
I mean, who's to say they can't put their stuff in the ravioli section? I mean, I guess there is no ravioli section now that I'm thinking about it. It would be more like the pasta section, but
You could talk to Chef Boyardee and get some canned
Get the Chef Boy
get some
review.
canned
Canned Pop-Tarts?
canned Pop-Tarts, or you could have them call it dessert ravioli.
Yeah, because they have to do the branding thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And, I mean, shoot, that would be a crossover of the century, would it not? Like, the crossover of your childhood? Pop-Tarts and Chef Boyardee? I mean, I'm not going to say I would spend my whole bank account on it, but I definitely would. I definitely would. My bank account would be taking a big hit if that was a thing. I mean, those things would fly off shelves.
I mean, should they be in the pasta aisle?
Should they be in the I don't think so. And I say this because pasta aisle usually just has like the spaghetti like strands or the like all that stuff, like, but you have to cook it and then like make the meal out of it, and usually that's what the pasta section is. So this, on the other hand, is already made, and so I don't think this goes there because I don't think pre-made food is already at the pasta aisle. So this could either stay in its like little snack dessert area, because at the end of the day, like, this is just a snack ravioli if we're going by our definition, or this can go somewhere in like the what would you say, the pre-made food aisle? I don't know if that's a thing. Like boxed up food, like stuff like that. And well, okay, and we're talking about like all these weird ravioli flavors, right? Like putting wheat, like what did we say, like s'more in ravioli, but we're not talking also about the other way around. What if you just put normal like ravioli flavors into a Pop-Tart?
That also sounds really good.
Yeah, like imagine like your 4-cheese ravioli, but just stuck in the
yeah.
Oh, don't even get me started, because we can make the argument that a Pop-Tart is is a hot pocket. Man, we'll save that. We'll save that one for later. We'll save that one for later. But I mean, imagine your 4-cheese Pop-Tart. That might smack.
I think my only issue with the aisle question is that what if I want to get like a box of normal raviolis, but then I also want some like dessert raviolis for the kids.
Well, the thing about raviolis, I don't know, and like I'll try to look it up here, but I don't think that you can just like buy ravioli like the pot. I think you have to make it, because
you can get like frozen ravioli in there.
But well, then it's pre-made already. It's pre-cooked, I think.
Oh, you're talking. Well, that's what I'm saying.
When I think of pasta aisle, I'm thinking of like you have to buy like the the spiral noodles, or
like you boil them,
like what's it called, like the penny pasta, I think. Penne. Yeah. And that's when I think of the pasta aisle. Now, obviously, there's like the frozen like aisle that has like the pre-made lasagna, pre-made all that stuff, and I guess technically could go in there. I mean, they do sell like Pop-Tarts that you're supposed to like put in the freezer.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they sell like cold Pop-Tarts. Like, that's a thing. And I'll just like do a quick search real quick. Give me a sec. Oh, well. Maybe not.
Shoot, that's another question that I want to bring up. Do y'all, kind of off topic, but not really, do y'all prefer your Pop-Tarts cold or hot?
I like them straight out the box. There's an argument to be made that some are meant to go in the toaster, or the toaster, and like the s'more flavor that I was talking about, I feel like that has to go into the toaster just because of the general nature of what it is. But you can still eat that like normally, just straight out the box.
I could see the argument for like a fruit flavored Pop-Tart to go in the fridge for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Or like hours, I guess. I don't know. But in terms of like your classic, brown sugar, cinnamon, chocolate, whatever, all that stuff, straight out the box, it's just, you want it to dry out your mouth with it. You don't want it to be
exactly
warm, type of hot.
Yeah. So I think our general consensus here is that I think we all can agree now that Pop-Tarts and ravioli are the same thing, just presented differently. All right, so I think we can go on with that to our next topic. And so this one might have, I hope, has a little bit more like back and forth to it, because I think it definitely the both sides have their own little like pros and cons, but so we're gonna take it over to chess real quick, and by that I mean, but I'm also gonna take it to metahuman, like right? Okay, stick with me. Okay, so if you were playing a game of chess, or let's just say two random people were playing a game of chess, but one of them had the ability to read the other's mind, and one of them had the ability to see the future, who would win that chess game? And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that their chess skill knowledge is equal.
Okay. Well, I've got my opinion,
Okay.
but
You can go while I'm thinking.
sure thing. I think. Well, I don't want to sway your mind too much.
Well, that's what your whole point is.
But-
Yeah, you're trying to sway.
Well, I'd like to sway him from a disadvantage so it's more fair. But
Right.
I think it's safe to say that the mind reader is winning that one.
What? Okay, that's interesting because I thought, honestly, I really thought this was one-sided
Really?
towards the guy who sees the future.
Really?
Why?
Why?
Because, tell me this: if he could see the future, and let's like try to like make this as basic as possible because I know it's a very like complex topic, the future.
I want to cut in real quick here before you start explaining yourself so I don't look like I'm taking your side. Just because, like, I've heard your explanation first. I was also thinking the person who reads, not reads minds, who sees the future is taking the dub.
Exactly. And let me ask you this. If I was able to see the future is the future. You can make all your arguments about like, oh, you can change your future and everything, but at the end of the day, it's still the future. You can still see the future. Like changes, you should probably still be able to see all the changes and all that. Right. And I think it's very hard to doubt that if you can see the future, that it changes because it just is the future. And so now I want to take it over to your mind reader people. Now, if I'm a mind reader, that means you see whatever I'm thinking.
Yes.
Now, what if I'm playing a chess game and all I'm thinking about is what I want to eat later today? What do you see?
I guess I see you eating Pop-Tarts.
Exactly. You see me eating Pop-Tarts. Now, what does that have to do with the chess game? What advantage does that give you to make me have a disadvantage at that chess game?
Well, here's my question for you: are you just closing your eyes and moving random pieces?
Just because you're seeing it doesn't mean you're thinking about it.
Well, you have to on some level, like make conscious moves, right? It's not like you're just autonomously making moves. So, am I a mind reader who can read your subconscious like the decisions, or
it's just what you think,
or is it just surface?
I think.
Well,
mind readers
but
more
your
like
brain
thinking.
your brain is firing at all times. Like, is it surface level thoughts, or is it like your whole brain? Because am I just a bad mind reader, or am I an exceptional one?
I want to cut in here. I just want to cut in and say that thinking is a conscious process, not an unconscious thing. So if you're a mind reader, like you have to, or the other person has to be thinking about something for you to read their mind. So that's what I'm kind of thinking here in terms of your argument, if you want to take that from there.
Okay. So I kind of want to bounce over to where you were saying the future is already like determined, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say, why are you assuming that the future that is the one where the guy who can see the future wins? Because if it's the future where the mind reader wins, then you can't change that. So I don't think that's really a valid point to bring up. If we're saying you can't change the future, neither can you.
Well, true, right? But because he can see the future, he probably sees like every move, and that gives him such a huge advantage that the future probably is that he wins.
Well, if he can see every move, then he's thinking about every move. And if he's thinking about every move, then the mind reader also sees every move. The only difference is the mind reader knows what the future sight person wants to do. The future sight person sees what the mind reader is going to do. In other words, it's going to be a tie every single time. And I think that's really what we're going to do.
I don't know. I feel like you can
Sounds like a
definitely
paradox to me.
completely just blank out your mind. Some people play blindfolded and win games.
They are thinking more than the people who have their eyes open.
Right. And so, like, you could just make, like, dumb moves and know how to deal with it because you know the next person's move. I mean, theoretically, before you even start the game, you could set up the way you want to. I mean, you just know everything that's going on. I mean, you could probably tell that the other person's a mind reader and then start just blanking your head.
Well, but the mind reader could tell you could see the future. So, I mean, really, they kind of cancel
Unless
each other
I'm
out.
blanking my head, in which case you don't.
But you're not blanking your head. That doesn't. You can't do that.
You
I
can
hope you
think
realize.
you can think about other
You can
things.
try to. And then I'll say, what's he going to do with his pawn? And you'll immediately think about what you're going to do with your pawn.
Well, that adds a weird part to this debate because it's kind of a weird thing because, like, now this is just a disagreement on, like, a basic level thought of how this all works. And I think that's what makes this topic so interesting is that, like, we don't know how mind reading would work. We don't know what looking at the future would really work. And I think that's what makes it interesting because I think our disagreement that we have here is not something like, oh, I think this is better than this thing. It's more of like we disagree on the definition of what like some ability is, and we can't really like we don't have any reference to what this ability is because it doesn't actually exist. So it's just all up to our imagination, and I think our imaginations are what don't agree with each other. Now, you haven't said anything on our case. Do you have anything to add?
I've been thinking this whole time it's kind of irrelevant because it doesn't really change the outcome depending on what we agree on. But I was thinking about to what level can the mind reader read the other person's mind, and how far into the future can the future seer see? Is it seconds? Is it minutes? Is it hours? How far? How far are we looking?
Yeah, I think the issue here is that the question itself is sort of flawed.
Oh, definitely. It's not defined enough.
It's not. There's not enough definition, and there's no like. Now, if we had actual mind readers and we knew like, oh, they they only can see like 10 minutes into the future, right? But we don't. We don't have that reference to go off of. Right now, all we have to go off of is movies, and what do movies go off of? Imagination. And where does that get us? Nowhere.
Nowhere.
So
this may be a stalemate.
This one will probably end as a stalemate, and I think this is actually a really good topic to start a conversation with because there will be no end to it until we know what those.
Until we start reading minds and seeing the future.
Until we start reading minds and seeing the future. And,
I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon.
I know.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, are you reading
seeing
the future?
I'm seeing the future
Seeing
right
the future
now.
right
okay.
The mind reader one, by the way.
Okay.
Okay.
What a legendary chess match, though.
No, it was great. It really
Back
was
and forth.
What year did it happen?
2,759 and a half.
Two.
They start dividing years by half, so everyone has a half birthday every 6 months.
What would you want to see in the future?
That chess match, but also flying boats. I don't know if that was what you were trying to get at.
Flying boats.
Flying boats?
Well, I feel like flying cars. The ship's already sailed, but I want to see another ship sail, if you know what I mean, through the air.
I do know what you mean.
But
That's
I
about
don't
it
understand
for
that
the future.
because if you have a flying boat, what makes that different from a flying car?
Well, flying cars don't work.
And flying boats do?
Flying boats would be bigger.
Have you ever seen like
Okay, what
a
about a flying
Zeppelin
bus?
before? Like a battle bus?
Yeah, a flying. Oh my goodness.
Y'all are terrible, bro. What the heck is that?
It's this thing in Fortnite.
I'm gonna
no, I don't need to know what
stop
it is.
you right now.
Oh, okay.
No discussion about that in this podcast.
Not in this one. No.
Okay, maybe next time.
Save that for the Wall Fortnite podcast coming soon, definitely.
In an episode
Link in the description.
near you. Now, I kind of want to add like a little like section into this episode, and we couldn't do this last section, and you'll know why. I just want to get your thought on a topic, just a little short, like a short little debate on a topic that we had last episode. I kind of want to start doing this regularly throughout all the episodes that we do have. And the one I chose, and I think and then I think y'all know which one this might be, is a hot dog, a taco.
We're not going back to this.
No,
We're
we're
not.
going
We're
there.
not
Going
going
back
back
to
to
this.
this.
I'm ready.
I just want to hear your general thoughts.
Oh my. Okay.
Give us a refresher. What was the consensus you came to?
So we didn't really come up with a consensus. We had a disagreement, and no one really switched sides. The people with me that episode was I believe Juan and Bryce, and they both were against me and said that a hot dog is more of a sandwich than a taco. And my belief was obviously the opposite, that a taco and a hot dog are the same thing. And what I said as my what I backed up with is that if you think about a hot dog, think of the bun, the shape. It has a little bit of curvature and it's all one piece, right? Where in a sandwich, it really has two pieces. And think about it. What is a taco? It's a little like shell that has something in it, anything. It kind of goes back with the filling thing from the Poptart that we talked about earlier. And with that being said, a hot dog is a little shell, in this case a bun, and it has a hot dog in it. So, I don't know how much of a debate this will be, but I just kind of want to hear your general thoughts on that.
I mean, I do remember I watched the episode, I listened to it, at least this topic, and I was disgusted by the debate going on, because not only is a hot dog not a sandwich, it was a sub, and a sub is not even a sandwich. That's a whole nother rabbit hole.
Is it?
Oh, a sub is not a sandwich.
Okay.
I don't know if we want to go there.
We might have to go there. Like we might have to bring you back, but let's yeah.
So a sub is its own thing, and that's what a hot dog is closer to. But a hot dog is definitely a taco. You've got your flour or your grain option as a vessel to carry your meat or vegetarian alternative, but it's a hot dog.
Right.
It's some kind of meat, and then you got your salsa on top.
Exactly.
Mustard and ketchup.
Right.
And chili, maybe.
Okay.
Chili, which is from South America, just like tacos.
Exactly. He gave his spiel to Bobo did, Wiz.
No, to be completely honest, I'm disgusted that this topic was even brought up again, because just listening to y'all debate last episode was just honestly I can't believe that we would go to war over a topic such as, is a hot dog a taco? I don't see the point in this debate. Why not just call tacos tacos and hot dogs hot dogs?
I mean, we can and we do, but remember the spiel that I said in the beginning of this episode, in the beginning of the last episode. This is a podcast where we talk seriously about topics that are not serious. So, really, why debate any of these topics?
Because it's funny.
Exactly. So, what's your spiel on the hot dog? You have to pick one.
I do have to pick one. If I remember correctly, my opinion while I was listening to the previous episode, I think I was on the side of Juan and Bryce in that,
of course,
a hot dog is not a taco, but I don't think I'm going to go and say that a hot dog is more of a sub than a taco, because that doesn't answer the question.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It just avoids the
That's
question.
its own topic.
It avoids the question. What they really needed to say was that a hot dog is not a taco. Because yes, you may have the form. You may have the grain.
Okay.
The grain apparatus.
Okay, so the ingredients to a taco,
You have the bun, or you have the tortilla.
Right.
It could be, the tortilla could be fried, could be a shell, could be soft.
Okay.
But I feel like hot dogs are, I don't know, I feel like hot dogs are too much in their own category.
Right.
That I can't say hot dogs are more of one thing than another to say that it's not a taco. I firmly believe that hot dogs are simply not tacos because they are just in their own category, and I cannot compare them.
Okay, so maybe you can't say that a taco is or a hot dog is one or the other, but can you say what it's closer to?
That avoids the question.
Well, that's a different question.
It is a different question.
So what is the answer to the different question?
The answer to the different question is that it's closer to a sandwich than a taco.
You're gonna have to justify that one.
You're gonna have to justify that one, but
my justification.
Okay, we'll hear it. Yeah.
Well, it's a short justification.
Okay.
I don't think anything new needs to be said because I agreed with almost everything that Juan and Bryce said in the previous episode.
Right.
I don't know if there's much that I need to say because I don't want to be redundant.
And if you do want to hear what Bryce and Juan said, make sure to go back to the first episode. It's the pilot episode of Talking to a Wall podcast. It's a great watch. I do recommend it. But we'll go back to ours.
Link in the description.
Yeah, once again, link in the description.
Link in the
description, boys.
Unless you're watching on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, that it's wherever it is.
It'll be there. You'll find it.
Now, what is the purpose of clowns?
Terrifying children.
Funny, man.
And see, there's the issue right there. There's two ways to look at clowns. I think the original thought was for it to be funny and entertaining. The juggling, the squeaky nose,
slapstick humor,
yeah,
falling down.
But somewhere along the line, these clowns ended up becoming scary. Why?
I feel like it is a big reason because of that.
Was that like the first time we saw this like become a thing?
I can't say for sure that it's the first. I'm sure that there was some previous example, but that's probably the most popular that I can think of for why.
Right.
I actually think that there's a reason that it is a clown. And
okay.
It's not because it made clowns scary.
Mm-hmm.
It was made because clowns are scary. And I have an interesting theory on this. I think that it's because have you heard of the uncanny valley?
Yeah.
Where things that look almost human are like unsettling and terrifying to us. Like, think about what a clown is. Extremely pale face, strange nose, massive feet,
right?
Normally freakishly tall. And so it's off a little bit. It's not quite human, and you're not sure what's wrong. And so it is this like really deep dive into like it's not human, but it looks human, but it's got a weird forehead and like it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And
okay.
So it's just like a product of this factor that makes clowns scary, which is the unsettling, uncanny valley aspect of them. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely see where that's coming from, and I think that is kind of what makes them scary. But that still doesn't help understand like who decided they had to be scary. Now, I do want to bring up one point, maybe, and it's that little kids, and I'm talking little kids, tend to cry about a lot of things that even aren't scary. It's just, but to them, maybe it's just different or it just makes them nervous or anything. And so the only thought I had about that whole thing was maybe a baby somewhere started crying, multiple babies, little children started crying when they went to a circus or whatever. And then someone took that and thought, oh, maybe they're too scary. And then, then the movies popped out like we were talking about. And I mean, maybe that's where that whole thing came from. But at the end of the day, the purpose of clowns are for entertainment and yeah. I mean, do y'all have any experience with clowns? Like, just have you ever been to? Yeah, any stories like ever being to a circus or anything? Nothing.
I've
Not-
avoided clowns my whole life.
Not
So,
with-
are you scared of clowns?
Depends on the clown.
Okay. What? Okay. Well, take us through the fear of clown. What is it?
Shoot. I mean, it's not really a fear per se. It's more like a wariness. Where, why would I involve clowns in my life? It's like, what's the necessity for a clown at this point?
Get the funny.
But is it really funny to
Watch
me?
them
Is
fall
it-
down. It's funny.
I mean, I've seen like clowns pile out of a car.
Okay.
But you know, I've stayed away from clown culture as a whole. There's no purpose in introducing clowns to a clown-free atmosphere. If you ask me.
Exactly.
I can understand that. You know, personally, I don't have any experience with clowns themselves, but while I wanted to touch on something that you said earlier about how like little kids being afraid of things that shouldn't be scary. Y'all ever seen A Bug's Life, like the Disney movie
Right.
back in the day? So back when I was little, maybe like 6, 7 years old,
Mhm.
I went to Disney World in Orlando, and we went to the Bug's Life exhibit, and they had they had a 4D theater. They had a little show going on. They had like the seats with like the rumble, and like they had like misters for stuff in like that, and they had like animatronics in there of the bugs, which those also fall into the uncanny valley, which as a child those things can be kind of terrifying. You know, Chuck E. Cheese, the
Right.
old Chuck E. Cheese. That guy was scary.
Oh my gosh.
But when I was there at the Bugs Life thing,
Right.
I was sitting there with my parents, and I was sitting on the seat, and you know, I don't know why. I saw the cricket, if you guys remember.
Right.
That guy just terrified me. I don't know why. He just came out. He was doing his thing. I don't even remember what he was talking about. He just came out, paralyzed with fear. Could not pay attention to what was going on. Just terrified. So, you know, I can understand where the kids, you know, where they can get scared of things that shouldn't be scary, like clowns, you know.
Right. But I mean, I guess it carries on as adults, to adults as well, right? Adults are scared of clowns too, but that could just be because of the childhood that they had. So I think maybe it's a little more simple than I thought it actually was at first about the whole clown thing. Because I didn't really think of it in terms of kids, but I guess that's where it all starts is from kids. So yeah, I think it's a good place to be at in terms of that. And I do want to throw one last topic at y'all that I didn't tell y'all about.
Oh, coming with the surprises.
Yeah.
If I can find it here.
That's why you got to tune in to Talking to a Wall podcast on YouTube.com, Spotify, and Apple Music.
Spotify, Apple Music. I did dig deep.
All right.
So the surprise topic that I wanted to throw at y'all was, and it's an interesting one. I haven't really thought about it a lot myself. It's would it be better to live under the sea or in space? Granted, we're gonna add some things to it. In both places, you have all necessities of living. And in both, you have people with you. You are not alone in both areas. So what do y'all think?
I mean, I guess I'll just start out by saying that I personally think, and this is just going to be complete opinion, no reasoning behind it, just personal reasoning. I think space is cool. Space is neat. Got some stars out there. Got some planets. Got some solar systems out there. Got the whole universe out there. And I think space is neat. Granted, I don't want to be like an astronaut or anything. But like spending a day on like the ISS would be neat, I think.
But you have to live there. It's not just one day.
Yeah. I was just thinking like realistically, if I were ever to go up there, it'd be like for like a day.
No,
but
I'm not disagreeing. I will throw out a counter argument though, because I don't really have a side, so I'll just kind of play the guy who doesn't have a side here. We don't know a lot about space.
It's true. We also don't know a lot about the sea.
Right, but we don't know a lot about the sea, but we know certain things about the sea. And I feel like the knowledge of the sea is a little bit more than what we have in space. So I wanted to throw that at you and see what you say about that.
Well, I just looked up a statistic. According to National Geographic, about 80% of the oceans on Earth have not been mapped or explored.
Do we even know what percentage of space we know about?
No, we don't.
Exactly.
It's theoretically the universe is
you can stay
infinitely,
but you can stay
infinitely
around
expanding.
You can stay around that 20%.
Theoretically, the universe is infinitely expanding.
Okay,
so
but
the percentage of space that we have explored is getting infinitely smaller.
Exactly.
But
let me cut you off. The space, okay, but can't you just stay around? Like, I didn't say where you had to be under the sea. You just said you could stay in that 20% that we do know about.
Okay, well then here's the question: are we on like our own planet in space? Or
you're just in space. You can be wherever you want.
Because if we're just on a small planet with people,
mm-hmm.
who's to say we can't just explore this planet and then know about our planet? Because if we expand it out, sure, we don't know anything about space, but Earth's in space. So like the Earth is that part of space that we have discovered.
Mm-hmm.
We could just discover another part of space and then we're kind of in the same spot.
Shoot, we could go to a new planet in space and go live underwater there. If it has water.
I really hope it has water.
That's kind of necessary.
But we would need that.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think if we can be anywhere we want to be,
mm-hmm.
underwater or in space, I'd choose space because there's like infinite possibilities, right? You could find like the perfect planet, and build a log cabin on it. You can't really do that undersea. Plus, there's all the pressure under the sea. Like, what if your dome breaks?
I mean, you also have the pressure in
planets
space.
Have different gravity as well.
Well, yeah, sure, but we get to pick. But under the sea, there's kind of like
constant rules. Do you know what to pick from?
Well, no. But
that's why the possibilities are there.
If the possibilities are kind of endless and we can live anywhere in space, we'll find something, right? But we have to play by the rules
mm-hmm.
of the sea if we're living under the sea. And I don't know if I'm okay with that much water being above me. You know what I mean?
Above, right?
If we're in like the Mariana Trench.
Do you have a fear of getting crushed by the water,
dude? Go scuba diving in the Mariana Trench.
Have you?
No. Definitely not.
Oh,
but like you will die from the pressure under the sea.
I mean, but
you're kind of stuck there once you're down there.
True.
Or do you have like a boat or a submarine?
We're just assuming you have everything you need to live wherever you need it.
So you're just hanging out down there.
So like, we throw out the whole oxygen thing. I mean, like, you can use your imagination for those kind of things. Like, maybe we have like our own blowhole, bro. I don't know, but like, it's kind of like the possibilities are kind of out there when it comes to it. I think I do lean more towards space, but I'll try to make arguments for the sea as well. I know we already talked about how you have everything you need to live, but like, when it comes to food, if you're a fish guy, I mean,
if you have everything you need, who's to say it has to be fish?
Well,
You got
it
cows
doesn't,
down
but
there.
you do have it. Now, let's just say you're in space, right? And we'll kind of change the rules a little bit, like just to bring out some topics out here. Yeah, in space you have, let's just say, for both places, you have everything you need to live, but it's the
Okay.
minimum. It's not like, oh, you get to choose. You have a steak dinner every night. It's like you got MREs from like the army.
Wow.
But if you're in the ocean, well, that kind of does it. You don't need them. You can, I mean, you still have them, but you don't need them because you have all this fish that you can,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
unalive.
yeah, unalive. But what if you like started a farm on your planet? You know what I mean?
You're right.
I'm just like I'm picturing this idyllic like farmhouse.
Well, you would have to find materials on whatever
Yeah.
planet you're on. And that's the difficult thing about the space part of this, is because we don't know what space holds. So let me throw a little bit more curveballs at you.
Okay.
Let me throw a little bit more curveballs at you. It's not fair to you, but like I think it'll spark some good conversation. You can only pick between planets in our solar system.
Oh, ocean.
Does it have to be a planet?
It
What
can-
if I want to, like I said earlier, what if I just want to live on the ISS?
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Eat space food.
Yeah, eat space.
Just hang out up there.
Yeah,
Just chill.
I mean anywhere in space that's inside the solar system.
I'm going with the ocean.
Shoot, there's one specific astronaut that I can't remember what his name is. If y'all like want to keep talking while I look up what his name is.
Okay. Yeah. No. So now you're changed to the ocean.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, I think that in our solar system, Earth is as good as it gets.
Right.
I mean, as like everything we've discovered, Earth is as good as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole space decision is based off like hypotheticals, I guess. But if we know what we're working with,
Right.
we're not working with anything better than like what are you gonna do? Live on Mars? Like Mars is the only other inhabitable possible planet, unless we want to talk like the moon and stuff. But that doesn't even have an atmosphere. So you'd have to be like in your spacesuit all day.
Right.
So I think the ocean, if you get like your own little ocean house, I don't know how an ocean house would work.
What I mean, how do fish house themselves? They don't.
Coral reefs, but they can
Right.
breathe water.
Right, and that's why we're saying we're adding that like.
So we can breathe water?
Well, you have your own. Let's just say you have everything you need to live. So oxygen.
Is it just like a mystical source of oxygen? Like I'm
I
trying
mean,
to-
you can
I'm
get
trying to paint a
oxygen from the
picture.
water. That's how fish breathe.
So we have gills.
Gills
Like, no.
or infinite oxygen tanks.
Okay.
or like
Speaking
that.
of which, but I found his name, Chris Hadfield. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of him being on the ISS. Like he seems pretty cool, and like all the stuff that he did up there, it seemed kind of fun. I feel like it'd be neat. Not something that I don't know. Are we this kind of branching off again? Are we saying that we're going to be living there for the rest of our lives?
Yes.
Okay.
I
I mean,
feel like you've run out
yeah.
of stuff to do
I mean, what
on
are you
the
gonna?
ISS.
I mean, what are you going to do under the ocean?
Swim.
Hey man.
Yeah.
Remember, we don't know what's all the way down there.
Go
now,
s-
if you
I'll
go into the
swim out in
ISS,
space.
okay, if you go to the ISS, okay, imagine living in your room all day.
That's what I do normally.
Okay,
Yeah, do you have like a
but like
PC
take
set up
away
on the-
away all the entertainment, all just a blank room.
That's not going to happen though, because
Well, I mean, you're in
they,
the ISS. What else are you gonna do? Look at the stars?
they do have all that stuff up there though. Maybe not like have my whole like PC in my room and be gaming and playing Rocket League all day, but like they have that stuff up there. It's not like they're primitive technology up there, you know?
I don't think it's gonna be like. I don't think you're gonna have enough entertainment to last you your life.
Okay, you know, I've been swayed. I'm going to the ISS too
Let's go.
because I just thought about it. Like, what am I gonna do down there in the ocean?
Explore.
Explore, but I
You can
could
explore space.
No, you can't explore space.
Sure you can.
And on the ISS,
Sure you can.
It's a satellite.
You know,
Right.
use your telescope.
But there's like, I was thinking like, I don't want to just be like swimming around or like floating around all day, because I'm gonna get eaten by something. down there.
Anglerfish.
Octopus.
Dude, the excitement of being in a fight with a fish.
Have you seen those?
You
things
can live
teeth,
inside
bro?
a whale.
Okay, that
Why-
sounds kind of. But okay, but at the same time,
Full Pinocchio.
what
on
do you
this.
do? What do you do in a whale
Pinocchio.
after like a month? Like you're just stuck in the whale still? You're just chilling, or you get pooped out? Like that's all there is to it.
Nah, you just don't go to the place where you get pooped out. I mean, like there's
Stomach
so much
gas
to
will
like
destroy.
all the like you can taste all the fishes.
That's disgusting.
I mean, what are you gonna do in space, dude? You're gonna run out of stuff in the ISS.
Oh.
Float
Okay,
around, bro.
you can just
play around with
download-
zero gravity.
Download Minesweeper on the flight computer, and then you're good.
Yeah, what if you have like an error 404 that you can't get back into the space computer?
Oh, it's just,
There's so many things that could go wrong.
there's
So many
There's
things
not
that could go
in
wrong
the ocean?
under the ocean.
What
Too.
what if the sun takes you with its gravitational pull and pulls you into it?
then the Earth would be getting pulled too.
Nah, because the space thing is like infinitely smaller than Earth.
Yeah, but it's still this. You don't understand how strong the sun's gravity is.
Exactly. And how small the
Okay,
space
okay.
station is.
Okay.
It's gonna
If the space station is getting pulled, that means the Earth is getting close to the sun,
Mhm.
right?
right.
If
But
the
it
Earth-
might
wait,
be
wait,
it might be
wait,
just
wait, wait.
enough to where
Wait.
if okay.
Objects don't just stop moving.
Exactly.
They will keep moving towards each other. Then the moon gets pulled towards the sun because the moon's smaller than the Earth, right? Once the moon's gone, the tides are screwed up. Tides are already screwed up from the
But
sun.
the
also,
space station is infinitely smaller than the moon. And if you
It's
think
not.
of, well, okay, yes, it is. The space
not.
station is definitely smaller.
it's not
than
infinitely
the
smaller.
Well,
in the grand scheme
it's
of things,
a lot
and as
smaller.
they get closer, the
moon.
sun
Okay,
will go.
but
and the moon's
the
gone.
issue is it's small enough to where there could be a certain point in time where the space station will get pulled, but the moon is big enough to where it won't be as affected.
Okay, so for like you get like an extra month, maybe.
Bro, you're gonna be a
literally.
burnt Pop-Tart.
That's okay.
That's
Also,
okay.
Also,
That's
also,
not
also,
okay.
I was gonna say,
ISS.
if that happens, it's just my time,
It's just your time
It's
to
okay,
get burnt
it's
like a
okay.
crit. Bro,
It's okay.
And you know what? It's going to happen kind of slow. You're going to watch yourself get absolutely blasted by the sun.
Who said I'm gonna watch? I get like see, we're going towards the sun, and then I'll just chill.
Also, on the ISS, people come up for repairs and stuff.
Exactly.
You will not be alone. You won't be isolated on the ISS.
Yeah.
And the ocean, sure, you have your people that you came with, I guess. But, like,
You can go to the
you
people
can't
who
even-
have boats.
It's like if
you
you
gotta swim. Oh, so you can just leave the ocean? You can just swim up to the surface?
No, we're just going to say there's a barrier. You can't leave the...
So you can, like, tap on the glass? Like in the, like,
No,
in the movies? Like,
no. You can like...
Can I break
you
the
can
plane?
swim all the way up.
can I break the surface?
No. There's no roof, just a wall. Like, you can't...
Okay,
like,
okay.
You can't touch sand.
So I can break the surface.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm having someone construct me, like, a buoy chair.
A buoy chair. What does that even mean?
So you know what a buoy is?
Okay.
It's like the floating things in the ocean.
Yeah.
Attach your chair a little bit under the water, like this much under the water, like a foot,
Okay.
and then you just sit on that chair, and then you got your legs in there, sure, like lower body, but upper body's just out in the air, and then you get like DoorDash and stuff.
You get DoorDash.
DoorDash
is
flight
that the
delivery.
future? We have boat DoorDash.
Flying
Yeah,
boat
I'm at
DoorDash.
coordinates -32 west. I got a longitude of like 57 or something.
Longitude.
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 longitude and latitude.
Latitude, dude. I'm in
Longitude.
complete shambles, but
Oh my gosh.
yeah, like, is that what we're doing? Is that the future?
I guess so.
You're the one who said you could see
Flying
the future.
boats, bro.
I mean-
flying boats.
Flying boat.
Deliver the DoorDash.
Why would you fly? It's just a car at that point.
So what I'm hearing is we're gonna be hanging out on the ISS together, or are you going back to the ocean?
Well, it depends if I get a flying boat.
What
or
if I
not.
go and meet Ariel?
Oh, no, it doesn't change my opinion.
Let's
I'm going to the ISS and playing Rocket League
Let's
on my
go.
Ethernet connection.
Let's
On your
go.
Ethernet?
Yeah, I have a little cord
Yeah,
dangling all
what,
over.
Got the
what
sat-
servers are you gonna play on, bro? You're gonna
satellite.
constantly have to switch.
Satellite.
You're gonna be mid game and you're gonna have to switch servers.
Got that satellite connection.
That
So-
satellite connection.
Well, no, because you're moving really slow around the Earth.
But you're
right?
kind
No, you're moving real
You're
fast.
moving real fast.
I thought
You're
because
moving
you
real
gotta
fast,
go
no.
like a wider. Oh, that's right. Well, no, you're moving fast.
What if you're going the opposite way that the Earth's rotating?
Oh, then you're screwed.
Yeah. Then you're gonna
There's
be
no
on-
way you finish the
you're-
game.
Yeah, you're gonna be in SAM servers, and then you're gonna have to
Yeah,
get
the ISS moves about 5 miles a second.
Yeah, but the point is,
5 miles
Okay,
a
hold on,
second,
hold on.
bro. How many is that an hour?
multiply by 60.
Then
So-
multiply by 60 again.
3,600.
Yeah.
A lot of seconds. but or a lot of miles. That's not the point. Because no. Let me. So like a circle, how?
No,
Like-
what's a circle?
No, okay. So like a small circle, it's the farther away you are from the center of the circle, the further you have to travel to go like a certain portion of the circle, right?
Right.
Like that's why a 36-inch pizza, or that's massive. Like a 12-inch pizza is so much bigger than two like 6-inch pizzas. So you're on the server for a long time. Is basically what I'm saying. I think you can finish a game, despite how far you're
I
faster.
don't know, dude. Those are 10-minute games.
No, they'll forfeit.
Oh, you actually have to bet on yourself being good at it.
Oh, I'm betting on myself. Diamond 3, baby. Diamond 1?
Okay.
What was that, Diamond 1? Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that makes an episode. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up with that thought. In case you skipped a little bit, what today we talked about is a Poptart ravioli. I think we said it's a ravioli. We came to a consensus on this one.
Yes.
Then we talked about who would win a game, a game of chess, a mind reader or someone who can tell the future. And I think we just said the question itself is flawed. Then we went on to say why we started discussing on why clowns were scary even though they were supposed to be entertaining. And then we ended off with would you rather live in space or in the ocean? And I think it made for a pretty good episode. I think I had a lot of fun. Remember, I am talking to Wiz and to Bobo, and I mean, if y'all have anything you want to promote, now would be the time. Do you have anything you want to promote?
Follow me on Twitter.
Okay.
Tobo SSBU.
All right, that's Tobo SSBU. If you want to go talk or infer with Tobobo. Now, Wiz, do you have anything you want to promote?
I mean, I guess my Twitter as well. It's @satire_.
What is satire_? If you want to go follow Wiz and everything he does. Now,
Which is nothing.
I will go ahead and promote myself too. If you want to talk to me, if you want to get in contact with me, it is _WallRL @wall_. That's on Twitter @_WallRL. If you want to get updates about what Talking to a Wall has to offer, you can follow Talking to a Wall's Twitter, which is _Talking to a Wall. Make sure that you get turn on notifications for any platform you're on for this episode. We do have an episode before this, which is our pilot episode, so go and make sure to check that out. But if there's no other things that need to be said here, I think we're done.
Ended off strong here.
That was crazy. Some good conversation.
Adventure.
What an adventure.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
conversation.
Definitely live in space.
There's no shot you would live in space station,
Nah.
bro. There's no
Brother,
shot.
yes,
Nah,
sir.
dude. Yo, what kind of space?
brother.
Y'all are wild
Yes,
for that,
sir.
bro.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because like, are you living in like a bio or like a terrarium under the ocean?